So welcome to the channel, everyone. Triple M here. Today we're doing a side-by-side comparison of the best streaming services for 2020 going into 2021. So if you guys are new, every year I purchase these services, I put them through their paces, break them down, and do a comparison and let you guys know which one I think is the best value. So today we're comparing YouTube TV, Sling, Hulu, AT&T TV Now, Fubo TV, Philo, as well as Vidgo. So within each service, we're gonna compare the following categories. We're gonna compare the free trial, base price, the channel lineup and packages, the TV guide quality, the simultaneous streams, compatible devices, family members and user profiles, cloud DVR, the ability to fast forward and rewind through commercials, as well as the sound and video quality. As I go through, I'm going to highlight each category in red, green, or yellow, and at the end we're going to look at the chart, see which service makes it out on top. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So if you're new to the channel, I do everything tech, from your streaming reviews, streaming news, product reviews, unboxings, and everything in between. Hit that subscribe button in the top right, smash the notification bell. Make sure you select all on notification. That way you won't miss a video or a giveaway. So before we get into the comparison, guys, just know that this is my feelings, this is my opinions, this is which service best suits my needs. So for instance, if someone doesn't watch sports, they might be totally happy with a service that doesn't have any sports channel. So fortunately for me, I watch a little bit of everything, so hopefully this will be as unbiased as I can be. Keep in mind that none of these services are sponsoring this video, and also I am not being paid by any one of these services to do this comparison. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So first we're going to start with the free trial. So the free trial for most of the services is going to be 7 days. So I'll say the standard for the most part is 7 days. So any one of these services that has a 7-day free trial, I'm going to go ahead and highlight them green. I do realize that some services out there do not have any trials, but for Vidgo and Sling, they do have 3-day trials. So we're going to go ahead and give those the yellow. So next we're going to go ahead and jump into the base price. So notice I do have a base price and a channel lineup category. So what I'm going to do is just strictly look at the price. When we get into the channel lineup and packages, we're going to discuss that a little bit further. So YouTube TV recently increased their prices. They're now at the high end of the spectrum. Sling TV is at $30. Hulu is at $54. AT&T TV Now is at $55. Fubo also at $64. Philo's at $20. And Vidgo's at $40. So Fubo and YouTube TV, they're going to get a red. As far as the greens, we're going to give Philo, we're going to give Sling, and in that middle area, we're going to give Hulu, AT&T TV, and Vidgo the yellow. So like I said, for there, we're strictly looking at the dollar amount, but we're going to get into the channel lineup and packages that's available. But first, let's go ahead and start with the YouTube TV. So YouTube TV, for the most part, is going to give you around 85 channels. Now, this includes your local channels, as you can see there, as well as sports, news, lifestyle, and it gives you a nice mixture. One thing that YouTube TV recently did was they added the CBS Viacom channels, which a lot of people were asking for. Unfortunately, that came with a $10 price increase. So before they added these channels, you weren't able to get channels like TBS, TLC, VH1 was not available. Some folks were getting YouTube TV and bundling with other services just to complete their packages. So once they added those channels, a lot of people were able to cut that additional service. However, their bill did go up $10. Sling does have a nice variety, guys. They do have the Sling Orange, Sling Blue, and Sling Orange Plus Blue. So you can see here that Sling Orange says $20, but it actually starts at $30 a month after the first month. So same thing for Sling Blue, and Sling Orange Plus Blue is going to be $45 a month. Let's take a look at the channels. Might work for some people, might not. That's the Sling Orange. Here's the Sling Blue. And their top package is going to be the Orange Plus Blue, which is going to give you a great variety. Now, Hulu is another popular service, and when we talk about Hulu, we're strictly dealing with the live TV section, so keep that in mind. So Hulu is going to give you over 65 channels. When you put in your zip code, it gives you a nice breakdown as well. So it gives you a nice chunk of local channels, entertainment, They also have movies, news, sports, as well as additional add-ons available. So Hulu is another one that's going to give you a very nice mixture. Now over to the AT&T TV Now. So remember that AT&T TV has two services technically. They do have an AT&T TV and they have an AT&T TV Now. Now the AT&T TV is not on this list. That one actually requires a contract. So essentially it's like cable. So I went ahead and removed it from this list. But AT&T TV Now is a streaming service and it does have decent channels, guys. You can see right here, you're getting over 45 channels at $55 a month. Now, one thing AT&T TV did recently was they actually removed a lot of channels and added HBO and increased their price. So a lot of people got turned off by that, including myself. But this is what we're getting. You can see they do have a decent mixture of channels. They do have two basic packages. The second package is going to be the max. That's going to cost about $85. Moving over to Fubo. So Fubo is another great service, and Fubo flat out just offers a lot of channels. You can see over 206 channels in my area, and like I said, it's not the quantity, it's the quality. Have a lot of channels, but just like AT&T TV, they recently increased their prices, changed some of the channel lineups, and depending what you're into, it might be a negative or a positive. So recently, Fubo added Disney and ESPN networks to their lineup. That was not a part of their package before. However, while adding the ESPN and Disney channels, they went ahead and removed the Turner network. So TNT is gone, I believe TBS is gone, a couple other channels that a lot of people actually cared a lot about. So essentially they got rid of one service, added another, and depending what side of the aisle you're on, you're either pissed off or you're content. I did a full video on which channels were removed and added, so I'll go ahead and link that in as well. But they are big into sports, but if you're a sports fan, this might be the service for you. I should also mention that Fubo has three basic plans. They have the family, the ultra, and they do have a Latino package. So over to Philo, and Philo is another one of those budget options. They do have 61 channels starting at $20 a month, so you can take a look at some of the channels here. If you're not into sports, this might be a service for you. You can see what they have here. They have Wii, they have TLC, Discovery, A&E, Nick Jr. They also do have Epic and Stars as an add-on. If these channels are something that you watch, this service might actually work for you. So over to Vidgo, and Vidgo is a new addition. Now after doing these reviews the past couple months, a lot of requests came in for me to take a look at Vidgo, and I did go ahead and do a full review on it. So Vidgo does have a lot of decent channels. You can see they have four packages here starting at $40. They have the core, they have the plus, and you can see a lot of sports starting to add in there. They also have Latino and Latino Mass. So if you're big into sports, this is a great service to have, and you can take a look at both of the main packages there. But don't sign up for Vidgo just yet. We're going to get into some more details about this service. Let's go ahead and highlight these, and let's start with the worst and moving our way up to the best. So for me, Philo is going to be a no. It's just really limited, guys. AT&T is also a no for me. The fact that they removed a lot of the channels that we watch, added HBO, increased the prices, made no sense for me. So Vidgo does have a great lineup. The only issue I have with Vidgo and their lineup is that they don't have the local channels that I was looking for. So just looking around the comments, some people had local channels, some didn't. I was one of the people that did not have local channels, so I can't put them in the green category just yet. Another one I'm going to give the orange to is Sling. So Sling does have a decent mixture, but just looking at the lineup, I just feel like it's missing a lot of those channels that I watch as well. Drop your comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about Sling. I know a lot of people have it. I think they're the largest streaming service in the US, so a lot of people like what they're offering. I just find that they're missing some of those channels that I like to watch. So another one I'm gonna give a yellow to is Fubo. So Fubo, yes, they have a lot of sports, but they took out a lot of those other channels that people like to watch. If you guys don't know, Turner Networks includes TBS, TNT, CNN, CNN International, Cartoon Network, Turner Classic Movies. So they removed all of those. Yes, they added more sports channels, but a lot of those channels that I just mentioned does have a lot of content. So gonna have to go ahead and give Fubo the yellow as well. The other two I find have the best lineups, gonna be YouTube TV and Hulu Plus Live TV. So the next category down is going to be the TV guide, and this is going to be subjective to what you're into or what you like viewing. For the most part, I found that the TV guides are pretty on par, guys. The services have done a lot of work over the years to improve on their TV guide, so very hard to give any red on any one of these services. However, I do have some that I prefer. Fubo and YouTube TV, in my opinion, has the best TV guide with a nice thumbnail that helps the navigation, and they do have customizable options, so those are going to get a green from me. So I'm not saying that the TV guides on the other ones are not great, but I just happen to prefer Fubo and YouTube TV. So the rest I'm just going to give the yellow to. So you can see the chart is starting to build out a little bit. Let's go ahead and jump into the amount of streams you get per service. So just looking at this, the standard amount of streams is going to be 3. So anyone essentially with 3 is going to get the green from me. Now Hulu only has 2, and that's something that they should go ahead and just increase just to stay on par with everything else that's going on. Now as far as the amount of streams you get on Sling, Sling is going to give you 1 stream for the Sling Orange, 3 for the Sling Blue, and 4 streams for the Sling Orange plus Blue. So this is where I'm torn between giving it a green or a yellow, guys. If you're paying for that base package at $30, you're only limited to 1 stream. However, if you go all the way up to the Orange plus Blue, you're getting 4 streams. So yes, it's good that you're getting 4 streams, but it's also terrible that you can have a service that only has 1 stream available. So I was torn on this one, but I went ahead and gave it the yellow. So down to the compatible devices, and this might not affect you as much, but what I try to look at is anything that has most of the streaming devices, including TVs highlighted. These are going to get the automatic green. So just looking at them, you can see YouTube TV, Sling, Hulu, also have AT&T TV Now, Fubo. They're going to get the green box. Vidgo's missing some devices, so is Philo, missing some of those smart TVs. I know a lot of people stream directly from their smart TV, and if that TV is not compatible with the service, some people are not going to buy it. So for that, I'm just going to go ahead and give the yellow to Vidgo and Philo. Now down to the family member and user profiles. So this is something that's really important to me, at least. If I have multiple people in my house, I want them to have their own account. That way when they go into their profile, they can see what they're viewing, easily get to their content, and most importantly, they don't mess up what my viewing experience is when I log into my account. So for YouTube, I believe you can share with up to 6 people. Same thing with Hulu. Some of the other services allows you to create profiles, but I'm not going to dig too much into that. For anyone that I gave a yes to, I'm going to go ahead and give them the green box. Anyone that doesn't, you're going to get the red automatically. There's no in between on this one. So we're getting down into the nitty gritty. So the next one is going to be our DVR and DVR capacity. So Vidgo doesn't have any DVR, which is a big bummer. This was one of my main complaints and gripes with Vidgo. Not having a DVR just makes it seem like it's an incomplete service. For YouTube TV, they offer unlimited DVR up to 9 months. Philo also offers unlimited DVR, so I'm going to go ahead and give those the green box. Now for Fubo and AT&T TV, they do offer 500 hours, so I'm going to go ahead and give those the yellow. And now we have Sling, which offers 10 hours at 30 days, and for anyone that's recording, that's not enough space, so I'm going to go ahead and give that the red as well. Can I fast forward and rewind through commercials? So this popped up a lot during my reviews, guys. People want to know, if I DVR something, will I be able to skip or fast forward through the commercials, or do I have to sit there and still watch the commercial? So for the ones that allows it, I'm going to go ahead and give the green box to. For Hulu, that still makes you sit through commercials, it's going to be red. Vidgo is also going to be red, mainly because they don't offer DVR at all, so gotta kind of just snip that in the butt. And here comes Philo. You can fast forward through anything you save. You can fast forward, but the last break is required unless you watched it already. You can't start fast forward during the unwatched break. You cannot fast forward past the furthest point you've watched. And with that, it's too much confusion. Either allow it or you don't. So for that, I'm going to give Philo a yellow. So the last category is going to be the sound and video quality, and this was a late addition. I know a lot of people ask about it. For the most part, each one of these are going to offer 720p at 60 frame and 1080p at 30 frames per second. So for those, I'm going to give a yellow too. Now, one service does offer 4K content, and that's Fubo TV, but it's not going to be a lot of 4K, guys. It's going to be certain sporting events, certain live events. It's not going to be consistent. It's not going to be something that you pick. It's just going to be something that's in 4K. So keep that in mind. So even though they don't have full support for 4K, I'm still going to go ahead and give them the green. Yes, I did a lot of talking, guys, but we finally got our chart filled out. And like I said, this is based off my feelings. please share your comments in the comment section. But it's time to start eliminating some of these services and see if we can narrow it down a little bit. So the first one that's going to have to go is Vidgo. Vidgo has a lot of potential. I do like their user interface. They do have a live chat function, which I think is pretty cool, but they're just missing a lot, guys. They don't have a DVR. They're missing local channels. It's just an incomplete service that they need to improve upon. The next one that I am going to eliminate is AT&T TV Now. Now, AT&T TV Now used to be a great service in my opinion before they made those changes. But before they took out almost half their channels, added HBO, increased the price, and expect users to continue using them. So for that, AT&T TV Now has to go. Philo is another one that has potential, but just looking at especially their channel lineup, guys, there's no way I can use the service by itself without adding another service, which is going to cost me more money. So fortunately, I have to get rid of Philo. Even though they do have a nice interface, good DVR, just don't have the channels to match. Unfortunately, the next one that has to go is Sling. So Sling does have a lot of promise. They are a budget option starting out at $30. Channel lineup is decent. They do have the Sling Orange, the Sling Blue, as well as the Sling Orange plus Blue, where you kind of mix some of those channels in. Unfortunately, with the 10-hour DVR, no family profiles are sharing. This is one that's going to have to go in my opinion. Great service, just not for me. So we're down to the final three. Looking at price, we're looking at lineup, we're looking at DVR. Everything is being taken into account. Just taking all that into consideration, I have to eliminate Fubo. Fubo was headed in the right direction by adding ESPN, adding the Disney channels. Then they went ahead and got rid of all the Turner networks, which include a lot of the big channels that a lot of people watch. So not sure the move behind that. I'm sure it's a balancing act to kind of keep the price down. And with that said, they're still tied for the most expensive service. So for that, I have to eliminate Fubo. So that brings us down to YouTube TV and Hulu once again. So the price, you're gonna pay $10 more for YouTube TV. For Hulu, you're paying $54. You're getting a little bit more with YouTube TV, but Hulu still has a great lineup, which includes a great mixture of everything that I like to watch. So where we start separating is where it comes to the DVR. Hulu is limited to 50 hours. Fast forward and rewinding through commercials, another big one, guys. I've used Hulu and I know that those commercials get ridiculous, super long, super annoying, and if you happen to just skip ahead, it will actually compound the commercials on top of each other and just makes the experience horrible. Now, YouTube TV does have them beat on the amount of streams as well. TV Guide is a little bit better on YouTube TV in my opinion. It is subjective though, but in my opinion, I like the TV Guide on YouTube TV. Like I said, the only thing here where Hulu is winning is the price. The price is a little bit lower. So even though YouTube TV increased their price, what they did was make a lot of people happy. So a lot of people from last year, when I asked what service are you using, a lot of them would say YouTube TV and Philo, or YouTube TV and Sling. And that's because YouTube TV was missing those Viacom CBS channels, guys. They were missing TLC, missing VH1, missing MTV, missing Housewives of Atlanta. So in order to get those programs, they had to add a second service. Even taking into my account my personal experience, I don't watch those channels personally, but someone in my family does, and I'm not going to name any names. You want to get a service that's going to make everyone happy. So having said all that, taking the price into consideration, taking the DVR, taking the user interface, YouTube TV is this year's winner once again. Once again, this is where you voice your opinion. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me know if I got it right again this year. So starting to see a trend here, YouTube TV 2 years in a row, but they did increase the price. But unlike AT&T TV Now, they actually gave us stuff that we wanted that made their service better. And that's why I think YouTube TV is the best again for 2020 going into 2021. That's it for this video. Don't forget to hit a thumbs up, share this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.